Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is going to be like two videos put together because I felt like there wasn't enough to do individual videos on either of these, and I also wanted to expand on them a little bit more than just mentioning them in my buys and buys, so that's why we've got like a two-parter here. First part is going to be my Sephora haul, my meager little haul, and then the other half is going to be I did order a mystery box from Cosmetica, so let's start. So my Sephora order was so small that it came in like a bag, the paper bag thing, small enough to fit. I live in a condo, small enough to fit in my little condo mailbox. Because like it arrived and I went down to the front desk and I was like, I think I have a package. They're like, we haven't gotten anything. I'm like, well, I got a thing saying Sephora delivered something. So I just like, let me just go check my mail. Yep, there it was. Very tiny. I bought 4 items. My budget was to stay under $100, and I was conscious about what I was buying was specific for I'm going on a trip to Vegas, which last year when I went, it was like, it was so hot. I hope it's not quite that hot this year, but you know, it'll be probably sunny and warm. So thinking about that and thinking about things that I can only buy at Sephora that I can't get at like other retailers here in Ontario, Canada. So the first thing that I picked up is the Tower 28 SOS. I don't know if this has like a full, it's their SOS spray. Facial, daily, I can't read this. The writing is so small. I bought a mini. I don't want to say I regret buying a mini because I purposely, again, bought a small size so I could take this traveling with me. But I could see myself purchasing the full size to really be able to give this a good test. I've only used it a handful of times and I'm already at the T. So I'm like going to stop using this until I go on my trip. I'm going to try and use this on my trip and then after because it'll start being more warmer here in Ontario. I get a lot of redness in my skin. I definitely have like a sun sensitivity. I've developed it. Probably over the last 8 or 9 years it started, and so I'm hoping this will help. Again, I've only used it a handful of times, so I can't say that it's done anything for me right now, but once I start using it in Vegas, I'm going to try and use it continuously from thereafter, which again, it might only be about 2 weeks use out of this, I would say. It's not going to be a whole lot, but it'll be interesting to see if I get any sort of results out of it. I get a lot of redness and texture right here, so that's what I'm really concerned about and what I'm thinking about. Like, I'm hoping this will help reduce that when I'm in Vegas and then afterwards. So I'm going to probably maybe start before I go, like the week of, and then see how that goes. But yeah, this is so teeny tiny. I don't know this. I think it's 30 mils. So just a little wee guy. Speaking of another wee guy, this little guy, it's the One Size Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. Again, thinking about Vegas, thinking about keeping my makeup on while I'm out and about all day in the sun and the heat. I don't want my face to fall off. I'll hopefully be swimming. Hopefully be in the pool for a little bit, so we'll see. Probably will test this with some makeup in the pool and see how it goes. But again, I've only tried this like once or twice because it feels like, you know, the Batiste dry shampoos, you use it once and like you get one use out of it. Like it's already feeling like I've used it, like I said, maybe, I would say maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times. I'm like, oh, there's not a lot of product in this. It's 46 mil. Again, I would have, like, I feel like, obviously the full size, and they did have a duo that you could have bought, would have been more cost effective, but I purposely bought the mini for travel. So we'll see how it works in Vegas. We'll see if I like it. I could see myself, if I like it, that I will purchase the full size. But yeah, I haven't been able to really test this out yet fully to see if it's as good as people say it is. The next item, I've talked about this on and off for a while. It's been on my list to purchase probably for like 2 years now, and I just haven't got around to doing it. And finally, I'm like, you know what, just buy it now. It's the Sephora Black Ink Fine Felt Tip Liner. This one, again, it's a very fine liner, and it is, I think it's waterproof. Is it waterproof? I feel like it is waterproof. It doesn't say anywhere on the label. It says 12-hour wear. It's got to be waterproof. Well, we'll see. We're going to try it with the One Size, so we'll see how it works. But you can see here, it is a very, very fine liner, if it will focus on it. It's so tiny, it won't even focus. Very, very fine. I should have grabbed another liner to see, you could see the comparison. like the NYX liner. Maybe I'll try and throw a photo up of the two side by side so you can see. It is the liner I am wearing today. Again, I'll probably try and do a close-up look of this eye look so you can see what it actually looks like. It's really easy though. I like having a really fine liner because it's like I can do a wing-ish, like a, you know, black liner, but it doesn't feel like it's like overpowering. It's like almost like a day wear liner, if that makes sense. Like if you're a liquid eyeliner person, but you want to make sure it's like a nice thin line, you don't want to go too crazy with it. Ugh, words. This is a good one. I'm curious to know how long this will last though, being so fine. And again, it's very tiny, like, well, it's very small. There's 0.5 milliliters in this. I don't know how that compares to others, but just size-wise, it just looks small to me. But yeah, I've enjoyed using it. It's very easy to use. I'm not like a black liquid liner person very often because I'm not the best at it. I don't think I have a great eye shape for it either. But yeah, I've been very pleased with this and happy with this. I wish I didn't hold off for so long on buying this, and I could see myself repurchasing this. The only other liner that I can think of that I've really enjoyed using was the Fenty Fly Liner. I really enjoyed that one. So this one, definitely a lot more affordable than a lot of other eyeliners out there, other than, you know, drugstore. And then the fourth and final item I got was a perfume. It's kind of hard to see because it's white packaging. So it is the Commodity Book Perfume. This was a blind buy, which was probably not suggested. You shouldn't do that, but it wasn't in store. And I was like, well, it's not in store, so I'm going to have to just order it and see if I like it. Again, I feel like this package, I was looking at this compared to my other, like, I buy just basically travel ones all the time. And although I lost whole bunch of them broke. So anyway, this just feels tiny. Like it feels tiny, but it's the same size as all the other ones. Like the measurement on this is, I think 30 mils, or no, sorry, 10 mils. So 10 mils is like standard for like a travel spray. I don't want to say this is a regret. It kind of was at first. I'm warming up to it. When they say personal, they mean personal. Like it's really very light and very hard to smell. I'm just going to read the notes for you. So it says, capturing the nostalgic, crisp, woody essence of book with sandalwood and cedarwood, this lighter rendition puts the emphasis on freshness with the addition of aromatic black tea, a soft, aromatic, woody scent that reads close to the skin. They aren't joking. So if you want a subtle, I'm just going to spray it. If you want something that's very subtle, this is for you. It definitely is more woody. The black tea is not very strong in this. I'm curious to know what book. I know there's like book expressive and book bold. I'm not sure if I would like the bold because they're all different. It's got musk in it, so I'm not sure. Like it's nice. It's nice. I guess this is a situation of expectations, really. I was hoping that I would love this so much that I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy the full size. I love it. Well, the full size is $198, so maybe not. But yeah, I was kind of hoping I was going to love this. And it's not that I don't dislike it, but I don't love it either, if that makes sense. I've been kind of mixing it with, again, like I mix vanilla with everything. And that's really nice. It's just very, very, very subtle, very woody. Like it's more of like a wood scent. That black tea, again, if you ever smell like, sometimes black tea smells like wet wood to me. That makes sense. So yeah, it's just a very wood. They're kind of accurate with that crisp. Like there's something about it that's not too musky. It's a little bit of a brighter wood. It's nice. Like I like it. I don't love it. I'm glad I tried it. But I don't know. I don't see myself repurchasing it. I say that now, and then I've had other fragrances like the Vanilla Woods. When I first bought that, I was like, ugh. Again, expectations. It wasn't the scent that I thought it was. But now that like I finished that one, I'm like, man, I miss it. Like I do want to repurchase it. That was sort of like my nighttime fragrance. It's a very soothing, calming fragrance. Again, different than I expected, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I didn't even get the samples that I picked. I picked 2 samples. One was like a Bumble and Bumble hair set, like just like tear packets. And then the other was a commodity scent because I really wanted to try another scent. I think it was like the Milk Bold. I think that's what it was because I was really curious to try that. But I didn't even get any freaking samples. So thank you, Sephora. So that was my entire Sephora order. that's all I bought. I mean, I'm pretty proud of myself. I was talking about, or I mentioned this in Jen's video, like in her comments, because I was like, I kept kind of going back, and I was like, maybe I'll go on store, because there was things that I wanted. Like, I saw stuff, I'm like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. But then I kept kind of thinking, like, no, you can't spend that money right now. Like, I really need to, like, rein the budget in. And I was like, I don't need anything else. Yes, it would be fun to buy a bunch of other stuff, but I didn't need to. And again, I really wanted to stick to that $100 budget. So these 4 items, and that's the thing that blows my mind. Like, it's so tiny. This is so tiny. This is $97 Canadian. $3 shy of $100. In total, I paid, including taxes, so that's the thing that gets you here in Ontario, because it's 13% taxes. In total, I paid $89.95. So I stayed under my $100 budget for my Sephora order. Did I want to buy more? Yes. Did I, like, rein it in? Yes. I'm proud of myself for that. Was I kind of a little, like, it's a little bit of a letdown? So, just interesting. A little bit of lesson learned there that, sometimes buying stuff is, it's not all it's hyped up to be, but I feel very good about this order in terms of practicality. All this stuff is usable by me. It's not excessive. It's definitely not excessive. They're so tiny. But yeah, so that's my Sephora haul. That is it for the Sephora haul. Let's get into the Fantasy Cosmetica mystery box. So I've actually had this for a little while. It was called their Lucky Loot Drop, so their Lucky Bundles. This was the international box, so it didn't come with, I think there's nail polish in some of the boxes. Didn't come with that. So this was around, like, St. Patrick's Day. I ordered it on St. Patrick's Day, and it arrived, like, the very end of March, so right before Easter, and so I wasn't home, so I didn't play with any of that stuff. So that's why it wasn't in my March buys and buys, because I wanted to play with the stuff. I wanted to do a full video on these products. We're kind of doing a bit of a mini, because it's kind of small for the price, but I'm very happy with this. So let's start off. It came with 2 lip products. So the first one is a lipstick, and I kept the box because I really enjoyed the box of this. I'm not even sure if I'm in focus. Let's get my little monitor up. There we go. So this is the Lost Library series, and this is in the shade Secret. Again, beautiful, beautiful packaging. I love that this, like, replicates the box, and it, like, it's got the little books. Like, it's beautiful packaging. I really enjoy this. This color, it's red. I'm not a big red person. It's going to show a little more orangey and brighter on camera just because of my lighting right now. But it is a bit of a, I would say, a bit of a more mid-tone red, and it is a bit more pinky than it's going to show on camera. I'm going to throw up a picture of me wearing this. If I'm going to wear red, this is the color of red that I will wear, so I'm happy about that. At least it's not like a super orangey red or like a super deep red that I'm very rarely going to wear. If I'm going to wear a red, this is probably the red that I'm going to wear. And I can deepen this up if I want to wear it with, like, a darker lip liner. The downside of this, though, it's very emollient. It's prone to get everywhere. So again, I have to be careful with it. Probably best to set it if I can. I applied it with a lip brush, because I felt like that gave me the best control over using this. So while I think this is beautiful, this is probably my least favorite item that I got, just because it's not going to be super wearable for me. I'm not even sure I'm going to keep it. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if I should keep it. I know I've already used it and tried it and played with it. But I mean, it's a lipstick, so it's easy to sanitize. So I'm contemplating maybe letting this go. The next lip product, I'm really happy this is what I got. I don't know a whole lot about Fantasy Cosmetica, but I've seen some pictures, and I saw one of their pictures of their lip glosses, and I was like, ooh, I wish I could have that one. And that's the one I got. So this is in the shade Demon. It's their Warlock. I think their Warlock series, is that what they called them? I don't know. It's in the shade Demon. And it's this beautiful, deep purple black kind of lip gloss. The downside is it's a lip gloss, so it wears away. I did put it on over top Charlotte Tilbury's Iconic Nude, because that's more of a cool tone lip liner. But yeah, this is like, I'm going to put it on again, just because, like, when you build it up, I really love the color. But I'll just kind of put it pretty heavy on my hand there. You can kind of see, like, it's very dark, but as I talk, it wears down. But I love it. I love the way it feels. It does have a bit of a scent, almost like a purple grape scent, but not quite. Like a berry scent, maybe. Very, very subtle. But, like, candy-like, not true berry scent. But yeah, I really, really am happy with this. I'm so excited that I got this. It's such a unique color. I've always wanted, I still want to get like a black lipstick, but this sort of satisfies that like in between. Like it's not a black lipstick, it's just a dark, and it's very like even in its color too. Like when you put it on, I guess it's got a bit of thickness to it. I don't know. I really enjoy the way this looks. I really enjoy the way that this feels. I'm really happy that this is the one that I got. Then there were 2 single eyeshadows that I got. They're in different like packaging. They came in these like Cleona eyeshadows come in this kind of packaging too. So obviously they're 2 different lines. I've got them in this little ColourPop palette. There's actually some, that one's kind of broken. Some of the Vizier shadows in here, but let's talk about these 2. So this is the first one. This one I was like, oh, this is a shade that's not me. it doesn't go with the flow. But I've been pleasantly surprised with this. So I will show, let me just do a little hand swatch here. It doesn't swatch super great, which is probably not a bad thing because I'm kind of glad that it's not like overly pigmented. It's just a matte color. I should have told you the name. It's called Performance. I forget the line. I think it's called the Barred line. It's in the shade Performance. And again, the shade itself, I was kind of like, oh, this is not really something I will wear. But I did a look with this combined with the Carly Bible ABH palette, and I loved how it turned out. I was like, this looks so good. Like, it's just not something I thought I would like. Try and put some pictures up here. Yeah, I'm really impressed with how it looked. And then I'll show like an eye swatch of what this looks like, just this color alone. And I will say, I really like the way this color looks with my eyes, and I'm shocked by that, like, because I never wear yellow eyeshadow, and I really don't like, I've talked about this in the past, I don't like yellow golds. They just feel too much for me. They don't suit my, again, when I wear jewelry, I'm more likely to be now I'm a 50-50, but I used to always be like a silver person. Now I'm kind of like 50-50, but I'm not a true yellow gold person. It's not a favorite color of mine, but man, this eyeshadow, I'm like, man, this looks really good on me. I kind of like it. I think because it's not too bright of a yellow, it's got a little bit of depth to it. I think that's what kind of makes it work with me, or work with my skin tone and my coloring. I also think it's kind of interesting that if I wear the yellow eyeshadow with the red lips and then I have blue eyes, it's like primary colors. I don't know, I find that very mildly amusing is what I find that. So very interesting. I'm actually quite happy with that. And again, it's super unique. I don't have any other, I do not have that color in any palette anywhere for sure. The next one I kind of, when it was in the packaging, I'm like, oh, it looks kind of silvery, gray, gunmetal-y, and I'm like, that's fine. I probably won't use it a whole lot. It's in the shade Chaos. Well, it's definitely chaos. It's definitely chaos. It's not at all what I thought it was. So it's more like, it's got like almost a pinky base to it. And then it's got a purple shift. So there it is on my hand right there. But I'll show a better image of it, like as an eye swatch. Hopefully it's a better image. It's not gonna look super great because it's gonna have a little bit of yellow in it because I did the 2 eye swatches back to back. But yeah, this shocked me. I was like, oh. And then on the eyes, it's so much brighter on the eyes than I thought it was, or thought it would be. So I'm really pleased with this shadow. And again, performance really, really nicely. It's more, I would say these shadows, like this shadow here, has a bit of creaminess to it. It's not super dry. So it is one that you're going to kind of pat on and sort of blend softly. You're not going to like windshield wiper it kind of thing. It's a little bit of a different kind of, you know what I'm talking about. Those shadows that are a bit more like, don't want to use the word moist, but like there's a bit of dampness to it, like a bit of creaminess to it. But yeah, it's such a pretty color. So I'm really, really pleased with that one. It kind of surprised me. I think it was like a pleasant surprise adventure with that shadow. And then the last thing I knew, there was going to be a palette in this, and I was like, I was kind of looking at, again, kind of quickly peruse some of their palettes, and it's like, whatever I get. I just want to try the brand. I want to see what they're like. I could not, that was a very Matthew Perry from Friends, Chandler, I could not have had a better palette picked for me. I ended up getting the Rogue palette. So it's what I'm wearing on my eyes today, and this is what the packaging looks like. Same as the outer sleeve. Beautiful packaging. And then the color story. I'm going to try and hold it this way just because of the mirror. Look at the... Is this me in a color story or what? The purples, The shimmers, it is beautiful. I'm going to swatch this. I don't know if I have any swatches yet, so we're going to do some live swatches of this on my arm. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to do the mattes first because, again, the shimmers in this are very creamy, and they're very, very, like, I want to say like chunky glitter, but there's, again, enough creaminess base to sort of bring them together. So yeah, we're kind of swatching this in a weird way, but we're just going to do it. And then I'll talk about my eye look in a second. I don't know if I have a picture. I did wear this palette in another video. I can't remember what video it was, sneakily. It might have been in my buys and buys from last month. I just didn't put it the comments what it was. Black right there. That was a bad swatch. It's not a super deep black, I will say that. Oh, and I just got powder all over my pants. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's not a super black, which is fine. It's actually kind of better for me because it's easier to use with this palette. Actually, none of the mattes are super dark, that they're not like, and they're good tones. Like, it's hard to explain, but like, I'm super glad that this is like more of a foresty green, and then this is more of like a teal blue. Like, it's not a bright blue. This is not like a bright mid-tone green, because I'm not a huge fan of those. For me personally, I like these sort of watery based blue greens, if that makes sense, and like murky brown or murky green and blue. So those work out really well for me. And then these shimmers, I am just stunned by them. Although I can see if you use this palette a lot, you will go through them quickly because, again, they're very, very soft. And we're gonna try this as best as possible. That one doesn't show up very well because it's a bit more topper. There's not a lot of base in that middle shade. And it's interesting because they're all very, like, I'm looking at this. This is very, like, clear to me. This is blue. Like, teal blue. It looks very similar to this. I don't know if I can, yeah, there you go. There you go. You can see what I can see now. You can see that. The shift in these. They are stunning. Stunning. I don't know how else to describe that. But, like, these shadows, I don't know if it translates very well on the camera, but in person, particularly this shade here, which is the top shade in this palette. I'm trying to open it without like getting my fingers all over it. This one is beautiful. Like, this is the one I want to wear all the time. Like, as soon as I swatched that, I was like, oh, I'm in love. I love this palette. I don't even need the other shades. That's all I want. Very, very enjoyable. So yeah, this is what that palette looks like. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And you can see the shift. So again, I'll do a close-up of my eye so you can see I've got like every different color. I've got everything, but I don't know. I think there's 3 shades I don't have. I have 5 different shades on my eyes. So the middle shade on my lid is, oh, I cannot read these at all. Something Attack, Sneak Attack is this shade right here is like the middle of my eyes. Then the inner corner, I've got Sleight of Hand and Trickster. So the inner corner is Trickster, like right at the teardrop. And then the inner part of my lid is Sleight of Hand. And then the outer part of my lid is Deception. So I used all 4 glitters. And then I used Subtle. Gosh, a great name for that shade because it is a very subtle purple. I love this purple. It's like very easily wearable purple for me. I did use that in my crease, but again, I don't know how well visible that is. And then I did use Cunning as my sort of under eye waterline type shade. So definitely an intense look. Like, I kind of just went all out. But I have worn, I've worn Subtle with Trickster, and I've worn Sleight of Hand. I've definitely worn Stealth. I haven't worn Shadows yet, or Cunning, like on the lid, and I have definitely not used the black shades. I definitely haven't used these 2 shades for sure, but I've used everything else in this palette, and I really enjoy it. Is it an everyday palette for me? No, not at all, but I'm really happy with this and pleased with it. It's very different from everything else in my collection. So let's just get into the money part for a second. So again, one of the reasons why I was, okay, I'm going to do a mystery bundle, because the challenge with indie brands is they're way too expensive. Center myself. Way too expensive for Canadians. Like, it's just, shipping is like $30. Like it's ridiculous. So this particular set cost me in total $93 Canadian. Had I bought everything like on my own independently, not in the bundle, it would have cost me $142 Canadian. So I got about 35% savings. I mean, it's 100% savings if I didn't buy anything, but 35% savings if I just bought these out and out regularly. So that's why I was like, the mystery bundle is a good way for me to really try the brand at a better value, even though I'm taking that risk of maybe getting shades that I don't really enjoy. But I feel like for me, the only thing that, like, if I could send it back would be this, because it's the only thing that I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get that much use out of it. But other than that, I am very pleased with this. If you are into indie makeup and you haven't tried this brand yet, you really should. I think the eyeshadows are really, especially the eyeshadows, and I'm really enjoying this. I think they call it a lip gloss, lip oil. Like, I don't think it's just a straight up lip gloss. But I do really enjoy this. And again, the single eyeshadows are really nice too. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. Will I buy anything else from Fantasy Cosmetica? Probably not, because it's going to be expensive for me, again, as a Canadian. But it was a nice way to try it, and I'm really happy I've tried this brand. And yeah, so that's it. That is my Sephora haul plus my Fantasy Cosmetica mystery box combined into one video. This video might be a little long now that I think about it, but so if you like this video, feel free to give a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.